Tucked into upstate New York, just minutes from the Canadian border, the city of Watertown has a population just under 27,000. Syracuse, the closest major city, is more than an hour's drive to the south, and New York City is nearly 6 hours away by car. Surrounded by pristine lakes and state forest, Watertown boasts a range of outdoor activities such as boating, fishing, rafting, hiking, and more. The famous Thousand Islands region is also just a short drive away. Mark Thompson, Vice President of Jefferson Concrete, would add that the area has one more thing to offer: quality precast concrete.
Well, I am Mark Thompson. I'm Vice President of Jefferson Concrete here in Watertown, New York. Primary responsibility is to oversee the day-to-day operations of Jefferson Concrete. Responsible for, I guess, essentially everything that transpires under our roof. This tour today will give you a good opportunity to enjoy what I call our new location. We've been on this property about 25 years now.
Being so far from the major cities in the state, Jefferson Concrete has found its niche in the market by not having a niche at all. It's easier to name the products the company doesn't produce than what it does in a typical year. This diversification has served the plant well.
Like so many other precast companies, we really got our genesis in the burial vault business. Frankly, it's really been an important cog of the wheel here that does make us go. From the burial vault business, we diversified into residential on-site septic tank sanitation type products. There was a time, I think, when we had more cows than people in this region, and so it certainly was a natural evolution to move into agricultural products. So we certainly had a line of those products early on in the game as well. We constantly were looking for additional product lines to bolster our sales volume. We don't have any large metropolitan areas really close by to sustain our sales volume, so we did it with diversity.
Part of being so diversified means the Jefferson Concrete team has found themselves working on some unique projects, including head walls for a short span bridge that presented the plant with some new challenges.
My name is Jerry Lajoie. I'm the plant supervisor here at Jefferson Concrete. We do get into some unique stuff. Usually, if it's a big project that something that we haven't done before, we'll get the people that are going to be involved together. It might be QC, the guys that are actually going to be building it, maybe the crane operators are going to have to figure out the rigging and know how to handle this product. Those big wall panels, the challenge with those was they weren't very thick. They were a foot thick, but by the time you figure in the form liner in there and the space between the stone and everything, a lot of that concrete was only about 9 inches thick. And we had some real concerns about when we had to lay them down. There was going to be a lot of side pressure on those lifting devices. I think all in all it went pretty well.
The most unique and challenging project the plant has worked on, though, was in 2010 when the company manufactured floating docks for the Port of Oswego in Oswego, New York.
We certainly gained some notoriety on the floating dock job that we produced for the Port of Oswego a couple of years ago, and we actually worked for a company that was based out of Finland. They had developed the concept, had done the engineering, and they were the ones that did contact us. They learned a fair amount about us through the NPCA website before they ever came through our door, and these docks were constructed with pretty significant styrofoam voids in them obviously to provide for the buoyancy. But one of our real challenges during the production was to hold these voids in perfect position. If those voids were to shift one way or the other, not very much. It certainly created a real balance issue with these pieces. And if you visited those docks today, I think you would see that they're sitting as they should. They're not listing one way or the other, and I believe they sit 22 inches out of the water just like they were designed to. So.
One important move the company made was getting into pre-stressing by bringing in the personnel and equipment it needed to produce box beams. The move into pre-stressing brought Mark Losey to Jefferson Concrete. He now plays a critical role in the day-to-day operations.
I'm Mark Losey. I'm from Jefferson Concrete, and I'm a pre-stress manager, and I oversee the pre-stress operations from estimating to materials to shipping it out. I've done pre-stressing since 1983. I've done it for 29 years. I come up here to Jefferson Concrete in 2003 when they started their pre-stress operation and helped them grow into a part of their business. We only do pre-stressed bridge beams. We'll do them about from 25 feet up to, we've done up to 107 feet long. The way a bridge is laid out, we have two sets of forms, a 3-foot liner, a 4-foot liner. And our side forms vary. They vary from 12 inches high up to, we can go as high as 42 inches high with changing the keyway. And you would lay the bed out according to your lengths, and how many pieces you can get into your bed is what you would pour. Mark lets me run my pre-stress the way it needs. He understands what I know what I have to do with it. That's the way Mark will function most all the time with stuff. He has a lot of faith in his guys, and he lets them run their projects.
One thing that is readily apparent around the Jefferson Concrete plant is the important role teamwork and the team atmosphere play. It's more than just a suggestion or a sign on the wall. It's something they put into practice every day.
People that know me best will know that one of my favorite statements in life is your business is only as good as your people. And we've been very, very fortunate in the 35 years that I've been involved with Jefferson Concrete that we have had one heck of a fine nucleus of people. Communication is so key, and if you get a cog that's not doing a good job of communicating, my Lord, it amazes me the impact that has throughout the whole operation.
On the production floor, Jerry sees the importance of teamwork firsthand every single day.
Behind me you can see some production going on. This is our busy season. If you were to come here in the middle of the winter, you'd see a whole different scenario here. During our busy season, the guys are working long hours. Typically this time of year, it's 10, 12-hour days, 6 days a week.
The weather dictates everything in the area and creates high demand during the spring and summer months when the cold and snow break. This makes for long hours, but Mark Thompson knows his team will put in the work to get the job done.
We actually start the day the year round with 3 different start times with our production crew. We have a 5:30, 6:30, and 7:30 start time. We break the crew up to those 3 groupings. We pour all day. I'd like to think we have our guys out of here at 4 or 5 o'clock at night. Many days we do. Last night I think we washed the mixer at 9 o'clock, so if we've got hay to make, we make hay.
Teamwork is most apparent in the pre-stress department where verbal and nonverbal communication are vital components.
As far as like the team aspect, it's real important that everybody gets along. If somebody don't fit in the pre-stress, we will find them a spot in one of our other departments. everybody's going to be on the same page. And if you notice, there's a lot of hand signals going on. Guys will be cutting strands. They're gesturing where they're going to cut, how they're going to cut. The cranes are lifting. They'll have signals for that. And it's the little stuff. It's like when somebody's cutting strands. You'll notice it just ain't watching somebody cut strands or paying attention with their ears. They're listening. Pretty much this whole office, if somebody needs help in another area, you'll see our guys go over there. Everybody will help one another out.
One of the many things the company does for its employees is regular cookouts that bring everyone together for good food and good conversation.
And like I said, Mark is real good. I mean, we do cookouts here for the guys. We'll do a cookout maybe 4 to 5 times a year. Mark will have, they'll buy the meat, you know, they'll get the salads. Everybody brings in their salads. You know, it's a whole nice family atmosphere that everybody enjoys. What Jefferson Concrete supplies our guys, I'm telling you right now, they could not go anyplace else and end up with a better place to work than here.
The economy has been as tough on upstate New York as it has across the country, but Mark Thompson sees a brighter future ahead for the precast concrete industry.
It's been a pretty tough 3 or 4 years. You know, we look back over time, and certainly we all in our industry, I think, have experienced some pretty solid positive times in the precast concrete industry. As I look into my crystal ball, I think we're coming out of this. I think we've seen our worst times. I think there's some wonderful times ahead. We're an infrastructure industry. My Lord, it's not just upstate New York, it's every corner of this country. You know, it's our roads, it's our bridges, it's our water systems, it's our sewer systems. That's what we do. We've got an amazing future ahead of us in our industry.